How's it going there, YouTube? Coming at you with a very important video today regarding running fuses for your car audio setup. There's the right way to do it. There's the wrong way to do it. There's the questionable way to do it. But after this video, you can make your own determination on your needs and what you want to do moving forward. But the most important thing too is making sure that you run the proper size fuse so that way you don't underfuse or overfuse your system. Because remember, you are fusing to protect the wire, right? That's the golden rule, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But it's going to be an important video. It's going to be informative, whether you're brand new or just need a refresher. So make sure to stay tuned and find out how to take your ride to the next level. Let's get loud.
Let's get windy.
All right, so quick walkthrough again of how I have my setup fused. As you see, I got my dual alternators running to my underhood 500 farad capacitor supercat bank. And then from the positive side here, I have my runs going to three 350 amp fuses, which in turn run through the firewall back to my lithium bank, which is fused in the rear as well. So let me go ahead and go through there. There you go. And they come up through here, and then they are fused again. Three 350 amp fuses, and then those run directly to the positive of my lithium bank, which are two Cyber 12Ks. And then from the Cyber 12Ks, I have the negatives going to the negative, and I have the positives going to the positive to my Encore 12K, and then my two Symphony S4s on each side of the lithium bank. So that's how I have it ran. And as you can see, I don't have any fuses here, okay, going from the battery, the rear battery, to the amp for a couple reasons, okay? Again, because they're fairly short runs. They're not going through any pinch points or any kind of firewall or anything like that. Plus, they are clustered together and zip tied together. So, if one did come loose, they would still be connected together. And I do check them regularly to make sure that, they are tight and good to go. All right, so let me draw it out as a visual here of why it is important to fuse, and why specifically, if you're running a front and rear battery, why you need fuses in two locations and not just one. As I've had so many people just ask me, well, why do you have two inline fuses on a single run? And it's because I have a battery up front or a supercat bank, and then in the back I have my lithium, right? You're gonna have to do it, especially, gosh, if you're running through a firewall or anything like that. So let me explain. So in a normal setup where you got one battery in the front, right? And then you got your ground, and then you got your wire going back to your amplifier. Okay, typical setup here. Now you're supposed to have your fuse within 18 inches of the battery, right? So right at the front, before it crosses through any metal, goes under your vehicle, goes through the firewall and such like that. Okay, remember, you're fusing to protect the wire. A lot of people think that, oh, well, I need to fuse based off the amp that I'm running. Well, no, okay? You're fusing to protect the wire in case your wire gets shorted out. That's why you need to pick the size of your fuse based off the gauge wire you're using. So why do you fuse here at the front before it runs through the firewall? Let's say this is the firewall going into the cabin of your vehicle. Okay, because if, for example, it gets pinched right here and shorts out, well, guess what? It's not going to short out your battery. It's going to pop the fuse, boom, and that way it creates an open circuit, and your battery doesn't get continually shorted and damage your electrical system even further, or worst, burn your car down, which can happen. So that is the purpose of fusing when you have a single battery set up front, okay, in case anything shorts out like that. Now, if you have a dual battery setup, meaning you have a power source in the front, and when I say dual battery, it doesn't have to be a battery. It could be a supercat bank. Like, for example, I have my supercat bank up here. But same thing, you got your negative right? You got your positive, but then you also have a rear battery bank or lithium bank. In this case, it doesn't matter what it is. And then you got your amplifiers, right? So as you can see, you got a front battery, rear battery, and then you got your amplifiers connected to your rear distribution block or rear batteries. Now you still got that same firewall, right? Where you're gonna be running power wires through or under your vehicle. Gosh, even when you're running things under your vehicle, I would still fuse front and back because, you know, having a very long length of power wire, you know, underneath your vehicle can make anybody nervous, but especially going through a firewall. So let's think about it like this. If traditional thinking of up here is you just run your power wire from front to back and you fuse here, right? What happens if you don't fuse over here and you get a short right there? Well, guess what? This battery is protected from that fuse, but that battery is not. So this one is going to short out your entire electrical system and probably burn your vehicle down, right? So that's why it's important not only to fuse within 18 inches of your front battery, but also within 18 inches of your rear battery, all right? So in this situation, yes, you would need two sets of, or one set of fuse, one front and one back in order to protect your electrical circuit. Now, here's something that I've heard a lot of people have some ambiguity on whether you should do it, shouldn't do it, whatever the case may be. But a lot of people ask, well, you know, should you fuse from here to here?
Team no fuse, baby.
Okay, from your rear battery to your amp. And, you know, my take on that is I personally don't, as you've seen my setup. Why is that? Because it is a fairly short run, okay? It's not going through any metal. It's not going through any potential pinch points like around where a seat can fold down and crink it in, you know, in between the metal or something. They're very exposed and zip tied together. So if by chance one comes out, they're zip tied to the other ones. So, you know, there's a fail safe, and I check them regularly too. Like, you know, every so often I just walk through my system, make sure everything's tight and, you know, screwed together. But, you know, if you want that extra, you know, piece of security, sure, you know, you can put a fuse there too. All right. But again, that one, it's up to you if you want to do it or not. You know, if you're going for, you know, peace of mind, sure. If you're going for maximum current, then I don't put it there, right? Unless it's going through a pinch point or going through metal or anything like that, then yeah, I would say you need to do it. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this video was beneficial to you all moving forward to protect your investments, because that's really what fusing is all about. So thank you for joining us. If you are new to this channel, make sure that you subscribe, turn on those notifications, like this video, throw a comment below if you have any questions. And don't forget, this is where you find out how to take your ride to the next level. Let's get loud.